So our attitude towards marriage, what type of attitude do we have towards marriage? Because that attitude will assist us on how we treat this very same marriage we are in. These are the pictures that I have here. You've got one couple on my right. You can see they are excited. They just got married, looking at each other. The other couple there, almost picking each other. That's how the wedding day looks like. And because the wedding day looks like this is how we see marriage. We see marriage, we see a celebration. Is that not so? Not forgetting the difference between a wedding and a marriage, but it looks like this is how we see marriage. It's something to be enjoyed. Remember, I'm not saying it's correct or wrong. I'm just saying this is the general attitude on marriage. This couple, I don't know what is the name of this car, but it was important for them that they put that car in the background on their wedding day. Celebrating their wedding, not only celebrating the wedding, but also celebrating the car they are driving on their wedding. So it's very important. And I've got this mansion, which it would be nice to have, but most of the time when we are married, we are actually having serious financial goals, right or wrong? Normally when we are married, we've got serious financial goals. Remember, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just mentioning that when people get married, they actually normally have serious financial goals. You seldom find people who are married with spiritual goals. But normally you find people married with serious financial goals. Serious financial goals, there is something they want to achieve, there is somewhere they want to go at all cost. Remember, it's a goal. At all cost, we want to stay in this mansion, and it's our goal. So we got married, but marriage is a wonderful thing. We spend every moment we have to achieve this financial goal. Nothing wrong about it, just mention that sometimes what is the attitude towards marriage? What are we striving for? What are we working towards? What are we praying about? What gives us sleepless nights? That sometimes this is what gives us sleepless nights. This is what we want to achieve at all. Even if we don't see each other, but because we want to achieve this thing. Even if whatever happens, but we're working towards this. I think this is an X7, just that it was pulled and pushed. So these are goals that people have. We want to stay in this type of a house, and then we want to build this type of a house. We want to stay in this type of or drive this type of a car. These are type of goals we have. What will happen if this is our attitude towards marriage? That we came to work. I've got a couple here wearing protective wear for gardening work. They are willing to work in the rain. They have an umbrella. And then that other one, you can see that they are really busy with renovation. Whatever they are renovating is immaterial. But if we take this couple, they are celebrating. But this one, you can see they are ready for work. And that's what I want to introduce today, to say our attitude towards marriage. The first attitude that we can have in marriage is an attitude of a gardener versus a consumer. Now, a gardener, I mean, you can see these people, they are out there in the rain. They want to work on this garden. Now, what is an attitude of a consumer? If you buy a car and you find something faulty with the car, what do? You take it back to the dealer. All right? Because you are a consumer. You are not a mechanic. You buy a car, it doesn't work, you take it back. You buy a tree, and it looks like it's not green, after a day, you take it back and say, but this tree is dead. But that's the attitude we have. But in marriage, I believe that we must have an attitude of a gardener. An attitude of a gardener, if you've got a tree in your garden, even if it looks like it is dying, what do? Do you throw it away? Mm-hmm. No. You take time, you take efforts, you water that tree. You give that tree some fertilizers. You get some manure for that tree, whatever it is, it's grass or whatever. But an attitude of a gardener is that I am here to make this work. Now, a gardener is not there only for harvest. A gardener is there to bring the produce. Now, the attitude we can have towards marriage is that we are here for fun. Yeah. We are here to enjoy this thing. What if for those days there is no fun? Is it no longer marriage? Look, I've got I stayed in Sasolburg. Sasolburg, most of us, when it's winter, we don't have grass. I don't know what we call it. It's just gray everywhere. But we don't take the grass away. We keep it there. We hoping the rain will come. Some of us, when August comes, we start watering that grass. Even when it was gray, we did not divorce the grass. It's still my grass. I know down there it's alive. It will come back again. I know the rest season will come. I know the time will come. All I have to do is to become patient and give it some manure, give it some water. I know now it's August. Most of us will be buying some fertilizers for our grass. We will put there, we believe the rain will come. But during winter time, when that grass is gray, we don't divorce the grass. But if I'm a consumer, anything that I have which is not working, I return it immediately. Yes. And in marriage, if we're going to treat marriage like consumers, we will be like, you didn't cook well, I don't love you today. You cooked well, I love you. You gave me sex, I'm happy. You didn't give me, I'm no. You get what I'm saying? Mm. So when we are gardeners, even if it does not work, we put work on it. We put effort in it until it becomes what we want it to become. Until it becomes what we have envisaged. We are not working on a finished product. If this is the dream, this is a finished product. But someone must work on it. Marriage is like that. You know, people who are married for many years, they look good at the distance until you ask them how much they've worked. It is not the hard work, it is not on this picture. The hard work is on the picture before the picture. Yeah. When they were digging the ground, when they were doing the foundation, and marriage is like that, there must be a hard work before the picture. There are people who love pictures without hard work. Facebook, checking in. It's a picture before work. Because those people, they take pictures on their way to a divorce court. You know, they post a picture that was taken 3 years back in Cape Town. In other words, you want people to see you a certain way without putting work on it. Let me tell you something. We want to have attitude of gardeners towards our marriages. We want to have tools in our hands. That's why we are here. We are here to collect tools to make this marriage work. We want to be gardeners. Even if it is raining, you know, my garden, my grass, when spring comes and it's raining, you know, there is that fertilizer that you buy. If you put it and there is not enough rain, it just burns your grass. So my wife knows when it's pouring, I'm out there pouring the fertilizer. In the middle of rain, because I know the results. I'm going to be wet, but I know what it can become. Even our marriage, sometimes you need to hold on and work on it because you know what it's going to become. Sometimes you need to keep praying for your partner. Sometimes you need to remain positive towards your partner. Sometimes you need to speak positive words about your partner because you know what is going to become as you take care of it. So we need to have attitude of gardeners. Gardener wears a working suit prepared to get dirty. they are ready to touch the soil and get dirty. In our marriages, Bazalwane, let us be ready to get dirty. It's hard to talk about it, but let's talk about it. Remember, if we ignore it, it will never run away. A gardener is wearing working suit. This one is wearing a suit of celebration. It's ready to celebrate. Now, if you get married in spring, winter is still coming. If in your life you got married, it was spring, finances were flowing in, you were excited, you were happy, health is on your side, career is on your side. No, but winter is coming. What do you do when winter comes? Do you throw away your suit? But if you keep that suit in marriage, it won't help you in tough times. Because you won't be ready to work with that image. You need to have this image in marriage and say, I'm ready for it. I can work and celebrate at the same time. I'm not here for celebration. There are people in marriage, they are here for celebration. We are in marriage when it is not, when it is only nice. When it gets tough, what do you do? You know, I mean, I've met people who have went through things that sometimes you get married to your partner and then her sibling have got 3 kids, her sibling dies, it means those 3 kids are now yours. What do you do? You get married to someone, they get terminally ill. What do you do? It's things you did not cause, but they are coming. Because in life, winter comes, summer comes. Life is like that. But you need to be ready for it. You need to be ready for good times. You need to be ready for hard times. You need to be a gardener who's willing to water the garden. Bazalwane, we are here to water each other. You need to be willing. You know, when you water the garden, what happens when you water the garden? Do you feel good? Do you also feel watered? No, it's one way. It's one direction. When you water, if you've got a tree of oranges, when you water that tree, you don't get oranges. Why in marriage are we saying, I'm doing this, but he's not doing that? When you've got an attitude of a gardener, you put water on an orange tree, but you don't get oranges. But you have faith that the season will come when this tree will give me oranges. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you can buy a very small tree, and it can take 10 years for it to give you oranges. But the attitude of the gardener says, I will put water. I will believe. I will stand by this tree. The time will come for me to get the fruit. And sometimes we want immediate fruit. Yeah. I give you, you give me. I give you money, you give me sex. I kiss you, you cook for me. I give your mother money, it's like it's a transaction, immediate one. Christianity is not immediate transactions. There is waiting in between. Marriage, there is waiting. There is endurance. There is patience that is needed in marriage. So it's not a transaction that I do this now, you give me back now. It's a gardener attitude that says, I'm watering the tree, even if I'm getting nothing, but I know the tree will come right. You know, you might have a partner where you have struggles in certain areas. Don't keep them away because of that area of their lives. Water that area until it comes right. If you keep that area manure, if you water, don't put a spotlight and criticize it. Can I make an example? I've got a tree in my yard. The tree it looks like it's half dead. Some leaves are dead, some leaves are alive. So every time when I come from work, I look at the tree, I say, this tree is dying. And I go into the house. Am I changing the status quo? And I say, this tree is dying. Am I changing the status quo? No, the answer is yes, you are. Because your words are powerful. Wow. There's life in your words. So the more you say the tree is dying, and even because you are doing nothing about it, it is dying. It doesn't remain. The fact that you are not making a move doesn't mean it's not dying. But I can come to my house and take water and water the tree. Every morning, water the tree. Every morning, water the... It's a matter of time until the tree changes. Now, a good attitude in marriage, an attitude of saying, I'm here to work on this thing. I'm going to work on this thing. Me and my wife, we will age together. Yes. Me and my wife, we will never divorce. Yes. Me and my wife will never separate. I'm not saying winter won't come, yeah, but I'm saying I'm ready for it. I'm waiting for the right clothes for winter. I'm wearing red clothes for the rain. I'm ready for it. I'm not saying it won't come, but I am having an attitude of saying this, my marriage is eternal. When your attitude is a consumer, your wife gets a bigger belly, there passes another one with a hungry stomach, you trade. Is that not so? That's the attitude of a consumer. She doesn't look the same way she used to look. Now you are looking for someone, it's like cars. Ne? I mean, you buy a car, 5 years down the line you feel, no, it's no longer performing the same way. You trade it in, you get another one. You are looking for the same performance. You don't care how old is the car. You care about the performance you want. So in marriage, sometimes we care about what we want. It's no longer what I want it to become. So I'm going to look for what I want outside of this. But you can water this to become what you want it to become. You can water it to become a very big shrub that you wanted. Me and my wife were speaking to one lady. And this lady says to my wife, she says, this husband of mine, when I'm done with him, you will see. Not done in a bad way. When I'm done watering, you will see. When I'm done watering, he's going to go places. He's going to be great. He's going to serve God. He's going to minister the way. She says, when I'm done with her, with him. And we need to have that attitude to say, when I'm done watering here, watch it. So the attitude should be, I'm not going to change this car. I'm going to service the car. Not only service, I'm going to pimp it to look better than when I bought it. I'm going to take care of it. And that's the attitude that we are here to stay, Bazalwa. God forbid we are here to stay. This thing will work. That's the attitude of the gardener. I'm going to water it. I'm going to put fertilizer. I'm going to care. I'm going to prune the dying tree. My father is a gardener, both earthly and heavenly. So we used to have grape trees at home. So a grape tree gives you grapes. That is now November, December, January. It gives you grapes. Around March, you cut it. All those branches that gave you grapes, you cut them so that it can produce more. So a gardener takes time. You don't eat the fruit and forget the tree. Don't eat the fruit and forget the tree that gave you fruit. When your wife and your husband are doing you well, take care of them so that they can produce more. Right? Don't become a consumer who only receives without investing. Speak positive words about them. Show them love. Demonstrate love. Do something that says to them, I'm appreciating what I'm receiving from you. By giving feedback, you need to care. You need to prune the tree. A gardener is willing to keep a dry tree with hope of bringing it back to life. That's the attitude of the gardener versus the attitude of a consumer. A consumer wears, or a consumer wants to be served, not to serve. A consumer. When you get to a restaurant, you're a consumer. You're not a gardener. You buy spinach. You want it fresh. Who made it fresh? You don't care. You want it fresh. When they bring it, you push it away. It's not fresh. You are a consumer. In marriage, you are not a consumer. You can't push it back. Who must make it fresh? You can't push it back and say, this does not look good. No. Who must make it fresh? You must make it fresh. It's your garden. That's why the spinach is not fresh. Go and make it fresh. But the consumer push it back. No, this is not fresh. Look at this burger. I think it's yesterday's burger. I'm not happy with this. They are a consumer. They are consumers in marriage. They are not happy about that. They are not happy about that. They are not happy about that. But they are doing nothing. Yes. So in marriage, don't be a consumer. Be a gardener. A consumer only wants to receive. They want to be served. They want to receive. They expect without giving. They expect without. They are consumers. They only want to receive, but they are not willing to give anything in marriage. They want to be forgiven. They want to be loved. They want sex. They want food. They want. They never give back. And you know, when you are a consumer, you almost become a parasite. You are actually living at an expense of someone. But you need to give life back. You need to give life back. You need to give some love back. You need to give some care back. Even other areas that you are not strong about, for the sake of your partner, try to do them. You know, sometimes when I watch TV, I feel so sorry for myself. And I'm like, but I'm not romantic. You know, you see what these boys, what they do on TV. You know, like picnicking, you know, you see these guys, you're like, sure, hi, I need help. They are romantic guys, and they're out there. Very romantic guys. So little never was in that romantic, we need to keep trying. A consumer is not committed. Look, I go where I'm served. I get into the restaurant, if I don't get good service, I move to another one. If you are married to a consumer, they want the entertainment. If they don't get it, they want it somewhere. It's been childish. A consumer is not committed. So in marriage, when you become a consumer, you don't commit. A consumer is not committed. A consumer rejects what is imperfect. This is not what I bought. They reject imperfection. Now in marriage, when you are a consumer, you reject the next person. Or no, you can do better. You can do better. You can do better. I mean, there are husbands who send their wives on a cooking workshop. You can do it in a good way. You can do it in a good way, out of love. But we can do it out of arrogance. You know? I mean, if my wife says she wants to learn to bake, I'm going to pay for it. It's not a problem, it's empowerment. But if you do it out of arrogance, how say pay? It's time that so they reject everything that is imperfect. You look at how your wife does ironing, how they do cleaning, how they do cooking, and you look at how your husband does the garden, how they do what, how they, hey, trainer, what about that way? What that way? You know, but don't reject the imperfect. Water the imperfect to become perfect. Water that. I was walking around my yard. Sometimes you get too busy, you realize 3 months down the line you have never been behind your house. No, it's like that. Then I realized, oh, okay, this is what is happening. This is what it is at the back. Okay, I must. Then when I saw her, I said, hey man, I'm looking at these things, they are falling. She said to me, no, I've seen them long ago. I was waiting for you to see them. But if she could have made noise every day I come from work, have you seen them? Have you seen them? So in other words, she was watering me until I bear fruit. Now all of a sudden I walk there, I say, oh, things are falling apart. I'm calling someone to sort this out. I'm excited, I'm showing her, this is what I'm doing, this thing is falling. She said, no, I know about it. But I was waiting for you to see it. She could have screamed and shouted. A consumer is always looking for alternatives. They're not a gardener. A gardener, you work on it. You work on, you perfect what you have. But a consumer is looking for alternatives. If Adidas does not do it, you go for Nike. You're looking for something best out there. And sometimes it doesn't exist. And remember, best is as best as how much money you have. There is no best in life. Best is as best as the money you have. If I've got money to buy i10, it's the best for me. If I've got money for i30, it's the best for me. You know? So if it means when your money grows, you always look for a woman of that money or a man. When you grow, you look for something different. Your taste changes. A consumer uproots every dry tree and return them to the nursery. But a gardener takes care of every tree that is in front of them. Now I've got these couples. I love this one so much. You know, there are couples who get married in military way. I've got this couple. They are demonstrating love, but they are recognizing that they are in a war. They can't remove their clothes, war clothes. The worst part is that one is not even taking the gun away. He's kissing or about to kiss, but the gun is there. And he's wearing army clothes and he's got all his armor. Now in life, we've got the people who are there for work versus pleasure. Those who have a work attitude, they say, I am here throughout. I'm willing to give, I'm willing to wait, I'm willing to lose. So if in your marriage, you are wearing working clothes, you are wearing army clothes, when you recognizing that there are challenges coming outside of our marriages. And we are not opponents, but we are a team. Are we hearing each other, Bazalwane? So these two guys, they are both wearing army clothes. There is a recognition that it's a battle, but also there is a recognition that the battle is coming from outside. And we are a team, we are not opponents. No, most of the time, we think we are opponents. We're fighting each other when we must fight together. We need to fight together, not fight each other. When you've got a financial challenge, it's not my challenge. It's our challenge. When you've got sexual challenges, it's our challenge. When you've got problem with our children, it's our challenge. When you have problem where you work, it's our problem. When you've got a problem with your family, your siblings, it's our problem. We need to make sure that we are a team, not opponents. We are wearing army clothes, not to fight each other, but to fight together. Now, they say the first thing when you have a conflict that you must do is to recognize that we are together. Before you exchange weight, you must recognize that we both want to solve this. If you recognize that, before many words fly, everyone understands that your opinion is to help, not to put me down. If there is a conflict, we must all agree and recognize that we are on the same page. We are on the same team. We are on the same side. We are not opposite each other. The minute we realize that, we begin to contribute constructively. Even what was going to hurt me, because I understand that we are on the same side, I begin to see it in a positive light. So, these guys, Bazalwane, if we face marriage and not recognize that it's a battle, we are in trouble. Because if you are in battle and you behave like a civilian, the battle will catch you unawares. I like what you did. You recognize that at some point you confess that you got interest on the other person. It's what? It's understanding that there are battles. And if we don't recognize, you think that your wife is so born again that she doesn't have feelings for anyone but you are in trouble the day you discover that she's got feelings. You need to do bad. So we need to recognize that fact that there is a battle. And if you don't realize there is a battle, it will catch you unaware. You will think your wife or your husband is demonized. When they are not demonized, what they are going through happens in life. Because we are human beings. But we are together to protect each other. We are together to strengthen each other. We are together to fight together against any foreign thing in our marriage. Not to fight each other. If you fight your partner, you are losing your partner. Let me take in a scenario. You play soccer. When you play soccer, you've got 11 people. A team puts 11 people in the ground. For example, you've got number 9 who's supposed to score goals. You've got number 1 who's supposed to catch any ball coming through. If you, as number 6, decide to injure number 9 and injure number 1 because you are not happy about their performance, are you aware your team is going to lose? Now, Molinyalong, when we hate each other, you are hating your team member. And the Bible says 2 is better than 1. So when you hate your partner, you will underperform because your partner is hurt. Even if you think you are perfect, you cannot perform on your own. Have you ever had sex with someone who's not interested? You realize you cannot perform on your own. Have it ever happened to you? Have you had sex with someone who's not there with you?
Yeah, it happened.
And then you realize it's not working.
Yeah.
It's useless. We need each other. Amen. So a work attitude says we are here throughout. I'm willing to give. I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to lose. The pleasure, one says, I'm here for fun. I'm here for sex. I'm here for money. Nothing more. My time is running out. Let's quickly move to the next one. Covenant versus contract attitude towards marriage. Covenant versus contract attitude towards marriage. What I like about these guys is that they signed a contract. Soldiers signed a contract, which is a covenant. Now I'll tell you why. It's because it includes life and death inside of it. They are willing to serve their country even if it means death. So even if they will die, but they will die saving the country. So what is your attitude towards marriage? Do you think you've got a contract with your partner, or you think you are in a covenant with your partner? How do you see your own marriage? Not what the pastor said when they married you. How do you see your marriage? Are you in a contract? Because contract, let's start with contract. Contract is temporary. But contract in its own nature, if we are together and we see this as a contract is temporary. Secondly, contract, each party seeks to benefit more than the other. When you sign a contract, you are looking at your competitive advantage. When you sign it at work, they say 8 hours, you say for how much? It's about what you will get. How much per month? What are my benefits? You don't worry about so much about the scope of work. You are so worried about your benefits. Medical aid, car allowance, this and this. How many days leave? You are worried about that. You're not asking commitment questions. Is that not so? You don't ask you ask benefit questions. So if we see marriage as a contract, then we only see what we can benefit out of it. So a contract, each party seeks to benefit more than the other. If we see our marriage as a contract, it's about what I can benefit. Contract is based on performance. If you don't perform, we terminate it. That's why we've got performance meetings. It's because of that contract. It has KPAs or KPIs, whatever you want to call them. On the basis of those KPAs, there's going to be a performance meeting. In this meeting, we'll evaluate your performance and we'll decide whether you are worth keeping or not. Now, sometimes in our marriages, other people are anxious because you are performance-based. The other partner is always anxious. The other partner is always worried. The other partner is always scared because this marriage is performance-based. Performance based. Hunting, did we get married for this?
No.
Is this the reason why we got married?
No.
No, if this happens, praise the Lord, in our lifetime, if it doesn't happen also, it's fine. Must we pursue it? Yes, we must, but not at all costs.
Yeah.
So, if a marriage is a contract, is performance based. December, let's check what you have done. Other women out there, they've achieved. You know, it's performance based. Should we have financial goals? Yes, not at all costs. At all costs is to keep the marriage going. At all costs is to keep the family going. At all costs is to serve our Lord Jesus Christ. But if it's performance based, it's very hard. There are people who go through evaluations. A better assay evaluation is not an evaluation table. Your bedroom is not an evaluation. If you turn your bedroom into an evaluation table, you won't enjoy the bedroom. The other one will sleep at the sofa. They are waiting for you to fall asleep because there's an evaluation happening. They fall asleep on the couch and then they come, they check you. Still awake. Go back. Wait for them to sleep. It's performance. Sex. I mean, why is the mutual with you? No argument. Can I help you? You must pace yourselves by yourselves.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself with the other person. Don't do that. Have your own, compare yourself with yourself. What do you want? Do you want their sex or your sex? You want their sex? That is on Facebook. Or you want your own? Then do your own. If it's once a week, it's once a week, it's yours. Twice a week, twice a week. 3 times, 3 times. 4 times, 4 times. It's yours. Alright, you miss every day. But it is yours. Don't go and listen to other people. If you talk about it and pace yourself, né? And say, okay, Rona, we're not all 4, Nagre 2. So let's find the middle ground. 3. No one must suffer. Let's help each other. Let's find it. So if marriage is performance based, one of our the masters, Tabo no, it was a PhD. And so do some degree in the performance based. Know your person and support them. Know your person. Support them into who they are and what they can become. Not in what the other men have become. No, I'm not going to be a senior manager in that trade. I'm not even desiring it. I'm not even desiring it. But it's good for him. Me as a pastor, this is what I enjoy the most. This is what I enjoy the most. And this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So, if my wife is going to be Mara, how when is your Mara senior manager? What type of a question is that? How must I answer it? I mean, I'm not even an engineer. Do you hear what I'm saying? So, let's not put each other under unnecessary pressure. Know this person and help them become the best that God, not what you, the best that God wants them to become. Don't make them your little something. Don't make them what your father could not become. Don't make them what your mother could not be. Make them, help them become who God wants them to become. You're gonna become a CEO. Come on. Imagine. Poor man is trying to throw ideas from celebrity to the CEO. The contract is based on performance. Now we need to perform, we need to do better, we need to have goals, there must be performance. Let us pace each other nicely. If you give me financial goals, you say you want me to pay off this mouse. Salary goal beyond my salary. Alright? Understand what we are earning together and let's have a goal that is achievable. What do they call it? A smart goal. Right? So always has a clause to annul a contract. A contract always has a clause to annul. Children of God, never ever in your marriage utter these words, I will leave you. Never utter those words, I will leave you, I will go. Never utter. You are planting a seed. A contract also has got a clause to annul. There's always a window that I can get out. There's always a window that you can get out. And the other person is afraid that you will leave. You also feel like you can leave. Why? Don't have a clause. This is not a contract. Any party can annul at any point in a contract. Any party can choose to annul at any point. But a covenant is lifetime. We both agree that we are in this marriage for lifetime. We need to agree. That's why we call our retreats building lifetime marriages. Because we are trusting God that what we are working towards is not a contract, it's a lifetime commitment. Both parties sacrifice in a covenant. Not both parties benefit. They benefit as a result of a sacrifice. The first thing that they must do, both parties, they sacrifice. In the olden days, both parties have to shed their blood to show that I mean this covenant is a blood covenant. Let me tell you something. Marriage is not a contract. The world system have made it a contract, but according to God, marriage is lifetime. God wants us to remain in this union lifetime. You need to wear, this is not lifetime. This suit is going to be small, it's going to get a tummy. That one is going to be, this is not lifetime. This is an image. So if this is how you see marriage, it can be lifetime. Because this is an image issue. You see, these people, they don't mind getting dirty. Because they understand that in marriage is lifetime. We get dirty, we bath. We smell better. We get dirty, we smell, we sweat, we bath, we get better. Marriage is a journey. You need to know that even if you are sweating now, you will bath, you will get better. It's work. You must be willing to be like that in marriage. Don't go for image. If you go for image, your marriage is in trouble. I've got nothing wrong about nice cars, smart cars. I love them. But I want you to know that they don't make a marriage. No. We make them. My time is up. Thank you. We make them. So a covenant, both parties, they sacrifice in a covenant. We must both sacrifice. We must, who's got sacrifice and not fair? We must both sacrifice. Not only me, not only you, we must both sacrifice. We can audit what we have sacrificed. When I salute benefit, I'm sacrificing. We must both sacrifice in marriage so that we are both happy. Because if one is sacrificing, the other one is not, that one is getting grieved. But you must both sacrifice. You must give up something for that marriage to work. Everyone, for the marriage to work, you must give up something. And then there is this thing, baby, I just want to mention this example. You spoke about this lady, the youngest MEC, ne? Or the youngest MEC. Are you going to say it in your presentation? I can say it. The youngest MEC, my wife was telling me this story of this youngest MEC in Limpopo, Mpumalanga.
She's from Eastern Cape.
She's from Eastern Cape. And this lady she's female and the youngest of all MECs. So she is saying, because as an MEC, you can imagine you won't be home most of the time.
Yeah.
So she's young, she's not home. But she said what she did, she taught her children that she's a gift to the world. Naledi. And she said Naledi means?
You are shared.
Oh, in Naledi, it's a star.
Yeah.
So people must share your light. So she's training her children that your mother is a star. And a star does not shine in only one household. A star is meant to be shared by nations. So I am a star, I'm going to be shared by nations. So the husband and the children understand that they've got a star in their family. Now, where do I want to get to? I want to get to a point of saying, as we are sacrificing, recognize when you have a star. Recognize if you have someone who needs to be shared, so that you don't grieve him to become a light in the house, a bulb, when he's actually a star. That must be shared. So in us supporting each other, recognize when you have a star in the house that is meant for the world. Or if you have a bulb that is meant for us. Because if I'm a star, you want to squeeze me. No, what to yourself, the Cape Town, but I'm a star. I'm meant to go out. I'm meant to travel the world. So it means the two of us must understand who we are. I'm a star. I mean, imagine Winnie Mandela married to Mandela. He had a star, she had a star in the house. That is meant for the world. You understand that, ne? But if the two of us don't understand that what I do means you won't always have me, we must talk about it and agree about it and support each other about it. And now the husband, what he does, when the wife have got a meeting at Sun City, he drives to Sun City. Wait for the meeting. After the meeting, they go to the room together. It's support, right? So they can spend time together. When the wife is flying to Cape Town, calls, hey, hubby, I'm going to Cape Town. Fly to Cape Town, you will meet me there. Have a meeting, they meet. But that's their life. So you cannot live small. You must live big that God wants you to live. But have an understanding. In a covenant, both parties sacrifice, both parties are committed, both parties must benefit. Not only one person. If it's a covenant, it's not one person. It's about both benefiting. In other words, you've got the right to ask your other partner to say, are you benefiting from this relationship? Are you benefiting? Because if you're not benefiting, then something's wrong. We must both eat out of this relationship. We must both find life. We must both grow. We must both grow wings. We must both become better. We must both, multiply in this relationship. It must be a basis for greatness. If it is a covenant. But if it is not a covenant, we're going to treat each other like a contract to say, if you treat me like this, I'm going to go. If you didn't know, there are beautiful girls out there who actually want someone like me. I've had women say, some men, they think they're a gift to the world. There are a lot of ladies there who want someone like me. Yeah. Is that true? Yes, it's true. But they are not your better half. They are not your wives. They want you, but they are not your wives. They want you, but they are not your husband. Yes, it's true. If your husband says there are other one looking for Uri, I can say you. But they are not your wives. They are not your husbands. Amen? God bless you.